I need the money tomorrow, Bianca says, dropping a fat folder on my desk like a judge's gavel. 750,000. No delays. She doesn't ask if I have it. She doesn't explain why. She just assumes I'll fund it, like always. I stare at the spreadsheets I've been pretending to care about, take a slow sip of bitter coffee, and smile. Okay, I say. 4 hours later, I'm at the airport with a suitcase and a plan. Bianca's family has treated my bank account like a bottomless well since the wedding. Her dad, Martin, can pitch anything except reality. Air purifiers that don't purify, timeshares he doesn't own, something shaped like a diamond opportunity that was definitely a pyramid. Her mom, Cynthia, calls spa days emergencies and swipes credit cards like she's buying happiness on layaway. I paid medical bills from cosmetic experiments, covered emergency vacations, and financed a 3-month European expansion that was just wine and selfies. Every time the crisis passed, a bigger one arrived. I wasn't a husband. I was an ATM with feelings. This new demand? $750,000 to quiet investors. Translation: the latest hole in their luxury furniture business just ripped the hull off the ship. That night I build a box, not of cash but of truth. I print everything I've paid for them, from spa receipts to business invoices, and organize it like a forensic accountant's love letter. On top, one final invoice, my own, itemizing the last few years, total $2.5 million. I add a note: you wanted everything by tomorrow. Right on schedule. I leave the bow-tied box by the door, roll my suitcase out, and board a 6 a.m. flight to Seattle. Revenge therapy one way. At 9:10 a.m., my doorbell cam catches Bianca walking in like a magazine spread. Perfect hair, perfect heels, perfectly sure she's about to be the hero. She spots the box. Curiosity, smile, tape rips, pages whisper. The smile dies. She flips through the receipts. Cynthia's aura realignment, Martin's air purifier fiasco, the Italy expansion that's just wine. Then she reaches my invoice and reads the note aloud. The scream that follows should come with subtitles and a seismograph. Even Alexa says, I didn't catch that. By noon, I'm eating pancakes in Seattle that taste like freedom. Her meltdown hits Instagram. The internet does what the internet does. Comments flood in. Sis, he didn't leave you. He escaped. Plot twist. He paid her back in trauma. Box of truth. 2 days later, my lawyer, Thomas, calls, amused. Turns out the IRS and some very motivated creditors have questions. Martin wrote off vacations as networking, spa days as wellness, club dues as business development, and bonus, someone forged my signature as guarantor. Unfortunately for them, I've already shut every account, canceled every card, and tucked assets behind the prenup Bianca insisted on when she assumed she'd be the rich one. It clearly states, debts without written consent belong to the debtor. I'm clean. Bianca finally calls from an unknown number. She skips hello. You humiliated me. Technically, I say, you humiliated yourself. I just stapled the exhibits. She pivots to tears. We lost everything. No, I tell her. You lost access to me. How can you be so cruel? Cruel would have been staying and funding the collapse. This, I let the quiet land, is a boundary. This isn't over, she says. It's been over. We were just late to admit it. I block her number and turn off my phone. Seattle becomes home. Nothing fancy. A small apartment with creaky floors, a humming fridge, and air that smells like rain instead of entitlement. I start consulting, helping small businesses with financial planning, which is poetic considering what I just escaped. Clients follow advice, pay invoices, say thank you. Wild concept. The story goes viral beyond us. Podcasts, think pieces, TikToks about boundaries and financial abuse. The hashtag Box of Truth becomes a tiny movement. Meanwhile, Bianca's parents declare bankruptcy. Martin explains wood stain to weekend DIYers. Cynthia posts prayer hands on Facebook. Bianca sells motivational mugs online. I don't buy one. Friends ask about forgiveness. I shrug. When the laughter stops echoing in her mansion of regrets, I'll consider it. Translation: I'm not angry. I'm done. Weeks later, she slips one last text through before I re-block her. You ruined my family. I send 11 words back. No, I just stopped sponsoring it. There's a difference. Block. Therapy helps me connect the final dots. I'd confused being needed with being loved. Freeloaders read that like a map. The cure is boundaries and silence. You can argue with a wallet. You can't argue with a closed door. 3 months on, I'm at the same airport, this time for a hiking weekend with new friends. I raise my coffee to the quiet life I almost never chose, to deadbolts and receipts, to saying no without apology, to a cardboard box that ended a marriage and started a life. People ask how it ended. I give them the line that always lands, with a box. First thing I ever gave her that she actually opened. And then I board my plane, lighter than air, wealthier than before, finally paid in full.